Coming up on our final but no less quackitudinous lame duck watch, George Bush commuted a couple of sentences on his last day in office, which immediately raised the question of whether he would also move preemptively to pardon himself. That's a bad sign for an outgoing president, when people wonder about who will pardon you. Constitutional law professor Jonathan Turley will join us in just a moment. First, though, it's time for a couple of holy mackerel stories in today's news. As you know, Episcopal Bishop Gene Robinson delivered the invocation yesterday at the inaugural week's opening ceremony, the We Are One inauguration concert. Did you see it? Unless you were among the hundreds of thousands of people in the crowd there who very kindly did not pay attention to the fact that I wept my way through the entire thing like a baby. You did not get to see Bishop Robinson's invocation. That's because HBO had the exclusive right to broadcast the event on the TV machine, and they started their broadcast 5 minutes after Bishop Robinson did his thing. Robinson's invitation to give the invocation was politically resonant because tomorrow at the swearing-in ceremony in front of an audience that is estimated to be in the billions worldwide, Pastor Rick Warren will give another invocation prayer. Pastor Warren is a popular pastor of an Orange County, California megachurch. He was an outspoken activist in favor of taking away gay marriage rights in California. He has infamously compared being gay to being a pedophile and to incest. The invitation to Bishop Robinson, who is openly gay, was widely seen as an effort by the Obama camp to make it up to supporters of gay rights who were, livid about Rick Warren. So after all this politics, why didn't HBO air Bishop Robinson's invocation? Well, HBO today blamed Obama's inaugural committee in an email to AfterElton.com. They said, quote, "The producer of the concert has said that the presidential inaugural committee made the decision to keep the invocation as part of the pre-show." And by pre-show, they mean pre-broadcast. After a sort of dramatic back and forth on the subject today, the Presidential Inaugural Committee is now apologizing for what they are calling a mistake concerning Bishop Robinson's invocation. The impossibly named Obama spokesman, Josh Earnest, issued this statement to Christianity Today. He said, quote, "We always had intended and planned for Reverend Robinson's invocation to be included in the televised portion of yesterday's program. We regret the error in executing this plan, but are gratified that hundreds of thousands of people who gathered on the mall heard his eloquent prayer for our nation. That was a fitting start to our event." In addition to the apology, Politico.com is now reporting that tomorrow the inaugural committee will rebroadcast on the National Mall the entire Lincoln Memorial concert, this time including Bishop Robinson's prayer. And finally, among the people gathering together tomorrow to watch the inauguration of Barack Obama will be a group of African Iraqis. There are African Iraqis? Yes, there are African Iraqis. 1,500 years ago, East Africans were brought to Iraq as slaves. There are now about 300,000 of them. That's less than 1% of Iraq's overall population. The African Iraqis have had a very hard time of it. They're discriminated against. Most live in extreme poverty. No one of their number holds political office. But maybe that's about to change. A slate of 8 black Iraqi candidates is running for office in the provincial elections in Basra at the end of this month. They say they are inspired by the outcome of our election here. The secretary of their political party telling USA Today, quote, "We heard Obama's message of change. Iraq needs change in how they see their own black-skinned people. We need our brothers to accept us," end quote. It is going to be an uphill climb. The slate of 8 black candidates calling themselves the Free Iraqi Movement will be among about 1,800 people vying for just 35 seats in the provincial government of Basra down in southern Iraq. In the meantime, in their Basra neighborhood of Zubair, the black Iraqi candidates will host a feast tomorrow to watch and to celebrate the swearing in of the man who is their electoral inspiration. You know, a few community organizers, some good food, some inspiration. That's how things start, you know. Yes, they can.